and welcome to Pet Pals. I'm Bethany Davidson, the Humane Educator here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. And joining me today is, as always, Randy Cooper, and he's got a great guest as our first animal today. This is Maya. She is getting double the exposure today. Earlier she went to the radio station where she showed everybody what a love bug she is. She is a black and white pit bull mix. She is 1.5 to 3 years old. She was previously owned, and she, according to all of our staff, she's just a love bug. She likes to sit in your lap. She thinks she's a little bit smaller than she really is. She likes to give kisses. She is very playful, and she loves squeaky toys. So she is just a fantastic dog that everyone here has only good things to say about her. One person says wonderful dog, one says very sweet. She has a lot of great characteristics. She's very friendly and very excited. She's very pretty too. She's always got that happy tail wagging in her kennel. She comes right up to the front to kind of interact with you. She's easy to obtain. She can be a little difficult to walk in some instances, just doing a little bit of pulling. So as we always talk about, a harness is usually a good thing for dogs that pull a little bit. But if you're looking for a dog that has a playful nature, who's going to enjoy going out and being active with you, going on hikes and things like that, playing with your kids in the backyard, then Maya would be a great fit. She is one of our green color-coded dogs, so that means she could use a little bit more manners training, but she does know a nice sit, and she takes her treats pretty nicely. So she's just going to be a wonderful addition to any family. So if you're interested in adding Maya to your home, please stop in and visit her here at Animal Control. Our next guest is Bella, and she is an 8 to 10 month old pit bull mix. She's got a beautiful white and brindle coat, and because she is a puppy, she's going to be adopted out through our puppy process. And what that means is that we're going to take up to 4 applications for each of the puppies that we have in our facility, and then much like our normal process now, we're going to pick the best fit for the dog. We want to make sure that all of our puppies are going to homes where people who are now their owners are going to give them the proper training to make them become the great dogs that we know they have the potential to be. If you don't provide proper training for a dog, sometimes they become too much to handle, and then they end up back here at the shelter. So we will take those 4 applications. We will do our regular checks that we do here for any application, and then for the puppy process dogs, we have some supplementary checks and forms that we have you fill out just to make sure that we're getting the dog in the best possible home. Bella here has some super cute ears. They're a little wonky. She's got the one that kind of flops down and the one that sticks up, and it adds a lot of personality and character. So it's one of the things that makes her special and unique. It's really, really cute. And here in the shelter, she's been a little shy when she first came out to the set today. It was a new place, a new environment for her, so she was a little scared. So it's going to take her a bit of time to warm up, but our staff says that she's very friendly. She reacts well to other dogs. She's easy to obtain. She can pull a little bit when she's walking, but she really leans in and enjoys touch. As we saw, she was more than ready to give Randy some kisses, but she will need some basic training. All puppies are going to need that training to get them to where most people would want them to be, so that they're knowing sit and stay and down and all of those basic commands, just to make her more handleable when you're having her out in the community or in your house. It's important that you make sure that before you're leaving dogs alone in your home as well, that you can trust them. So you want to set up a good plan for whether you're using a separate room or you're using baby gates or you're crating your dog when you're not home. You want to make sure that they're not going to be destructive in your home when you're not there to supervise them. But with a little bit of basic manners, then Bella here is going to make someone a great dog. Our puppy fee here is going to be $150, so that's the price that would be for all of our puppies, including Bella here. So if you're interested in adding this sweet girl to your family, please stop in and visit with her. All right, our next guest is Happy, and she is probably the sister of Bella. They came in together. They're both 8 to 9 months old. They both have that great brindle coat. Happy, mostly brindle with just a little bit of the white on her chest. We talked about how Bella was a little shy. Happy is much more shy than Bella is. It takes her quite a long time to kind of warm up to new people and new situations. She's very fearful when people are approaching her kennel, but she has a lot of great potential. Our staff thinks that she's a very sweet dog. She just takes a little time to get acclimated. So if you're willing to take on and give her all of the time and be very patient with her, she, as you can see, can be very loving. She's jumping right up in Randy's lap for some cuddles. She's been giving him kisses. So all it takes is sometimes not even a long time. Sometimes it's just a few minutes of being patient with them and showing them that they can trust you before they start to warm up. Here in our facility, we have Happy also listed as puppy process. So again, it's going to be the best of 4 applications. But with Happy, we have, because of her shyness, we have that additional factor where we're saying that she needs to go to an older children or adult home only. Sometimes with the shy animals, the loud noises, the sudden movements, the always being kind of in your face of the kids can be problematic, can be frightening for them. So we want to make sure that Happy's going to go into a home where she feels safe and confident and can really blossom into her full potential. Again, a lot of the dogs on the show today think that they are a little bit smaller than they are, thinking that they're lap dogs, wanting to be right up in there and give you all the love and cuddles that you could ever want. It does say in her file, just like she's been showing us, that she does give kisses if she knows you, and she's very sweet. She just needs to get to know you a little bit. She is scared of loud barking dogs, so that's something to consider if you're thinking about adding her to your home and you already have an existing dog. She's very familiar with Bella, and she does get along with her, but if you have a big, loud dog, that might not be the best fit for her because she is afraid of that noise. She's easy to walk. She is shy and takes a little coaxing to come out of her kennel. Just, again, part of that getting to know you. Once she gets into a routine, she'll probably be ready to go wherever she needs to go with you. When we're talking about puppies, we're also talking about house training as well. Both Happy and Bella still need a considerable amount of work with house training. So you want to make sure that you have the time to commit to that. And that's part of why we're taking those 4 applications, because we want to make sure that we're getting an owner that is going to give her the proper training that she needs. It's particularly important with puppies to make sure that they have the basics of house training and going to the bathroom outside down. But with any dog that's been in a kennel environment for an extended time, you want to go through the basics and give them a refresher course with that training. Because here in the kennel environment, we have a lot of great staff and volunteers that are able to walk our dogs, but they can't walk them as regularly or as often sometimes as they need to go out. Sometimes they're giving them a walk, but just not when they need to go. So it's acceptable for them to go to the bathroom in their kennels here. So once you get them home, you have to explain to them and show them again that that's not appropriate behavior and they need to go outside. So you just have to be a little bit patient when you're taking home any dog that's been in a shelter or a kennel facility for any length of time. But if you have the patience, Happy here is going to make some family very happy when they add her to their families. So you want to make sure that if you're interested, you stop in and visit with Happy here at Frederick County Animal Control. These are the last dogs that we have for you on the show today, and they are our pair of bonded miniature pinschers. So on the floor there we have Champ, and he is 8 years old, and he's a little bit bigger, and he's got the lighter brown on his face. And then sitting on Randy's lap is Leo, and he is 6 years old, and he's got the darker brown on his face, and he's a little bit smaller. That's how you tell them apart. They came to us because their owner was no longer able to care for them because of their age and the fact that they're bonded and you have to take 2. For the 2 of them, they would be $60 off in our facility. So they are very sweet guys. They're very active. They still have a lot of energy. They still enjoy, but they also enjoy cuddling. As you can see, Leo is perfectly content sitting there on Randy's lap. They're very curious, very inquisitive. They do let you know when you're walking by. They'll come right up to the kennel and they'll give you a little bark to say hello. But they, as older animals do, these guys also have some medical issues. So they're going to need to be on a special diet that's that's mostly having to do with Champ. He's had some urinary type crystal issues, some stones that we have gone ahead and had surgically removed, but in order to keep him healthy, he needs to be on a special diet. And because they live together, they're housed together, they're bonded, we just keep them both on the same diet so that it makes it easy. So in case one is eating the other's food, there's no worry about Champ possibly getting something that he shouldn't have. These guys are very friendly. They've been in our foster care system. So we often talk about how kittens come from foster care, but sometimes we use foster care for other things. With these guys, it was because they were recovering from their surgeries. They were both also neutered. So we took them out of the shelter environment, put them into a home placement where they were able to recover in a less stressful environment, where we can make sure they're just getting the little TLC that they would need. Because of the fact that they are a little older, you're going to have to keep into consideration that they may have some increasing medical costs as they get older. But they're going to be a great addition to any family. They love each other, but probably not as much as they will love you. That's going to wrap it up for this half of Pet Pals. Please stay tuned after the break.
The Frederick County Health Department's On the Mark Adolescent Clubhouse and Sober Activity Center is a safe, community-based clubhouse which provides a starting point or continuing care link for peers supporting one another through the process of recovery. Membership is free and open to youth from ages 12 to 17 who are in treatment for substance abuse or are struggling in this area or who have completed a related program. The clubhouse offers fun and sober games, homework help, skills building, and many other activities. Located in the Health Department at 350 Montague Lane in Frederick, Maryland, the clubhouse is open Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 7 p.m. and Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. To learn more, call 301-600-1126 or visit frederickcountymd.gov on the Mark. Please also like us on Facebook at On the Mark Clubhouse.
Welcome back to the show. This is our cat segment for Pet Pals. This is Jimmy, and Jimmy is our longest resident in the shelter of any animal. Jimmy came to us back on the 17th of September, and he's still looking for his forever home. If you're interested in visiting with Jimmy, you can find him right now in our kitty cabana. That's our open cat room. He's kind of the king of the castle in there, and he frequently likes to look down on people from the tall cat trees and from the top of the vestibule in there. That's where he likes to hang out. Jimmy's story is that when he first came to the shelter, he came because his previous owner was moving and couldn't take him. And when he came in, he was very, very shy. He was always hiding. He didn't really want to come out and interact with people. And so our staff and volunteers did a great job of working to socialize Jimmy. But he still has those tendencies. Now he's opened up to us a lot, and he's shown us how sweet and loving and playful he really is. But he still has all of that shyness kind of there. When he's going to a new place or he's with new people, he's very unsure, and he's a little fearful in those situations. I took him recently to an event because I wanted to get him a little more exposure, and he was so afraid that he didn't really come out of his cat carrier the entire time that we were out. He didn't get to take advantage of the fun and all the love and attention that he could have gotten at that event because he was just too scared. So when you're thinking about taking Jimmy home, you want to make sure that you're going to give him all the time and patience that he needs to really open up to you. When you're visiting with Jimmy, one of the things that we've noticed here is that the bigger crowds seem to be a little uncomfortable for him. So when you come into the kitty cabana, if you come in by yourself and kind of sit on the bench, he comes right down and he wants to sit on your lap cat. So he's come from being a very shy cat to being a very playful lap cat. He likes to be held, but he gets a little sad when visitors leave, so sometimes he swats at you a little bit to let you know that he's sad that you're leaving. Right now we're thinking, because of his shyness and some of his eccentricities, that he might be doing better in a home that might have older kids or an adult-only home, just because he can get a little overstimulated, and he doesn't necessarily like a lot of people, a lot of loud noises in his face all the time. He might do best in a home where he's the only pet. As we mentioned, he's not super fond of the dogs. He has been housed with other cats in the kitty cabana. He seemed to get along best with Taffy, but they kind of stay off to themselves. They don't really interact very much. So that's some of the things that you really need to take into consideration when you're thinking about adding Jimmy to your home. So if you're interested in adding Jimmy, our longest resident, to your house, please stop in and visit him in the kitty cabana. This is our next guest. Her name is Lulu, and she's another one of our longtime residents. She came to us back in the beginning of November, and her name is Lulu, as I mentioned. She's a 12-year-old tortie, and she's got the most beautiful green eyes. She is one of our oldest residents in the shelter. We had our oldest cat that was the pet of the week last week, Callie, who was 15, who was adopted recently, and our 13-year-old cat, Rocco, is scheduled to be adopted this week as well. So she's the next cat that we would like to get into a great home to spend her golden years, her kind of Florida retirement home, if you would. She is very sweet. She's very mellow, she's very quiet. She doesn't make a lot of noise. She likes to stay curled up in her bed all day and kind of hang out. But she can be a little sassy. She has a little bit of that tortitude, which torties and calicos are known for having. But she's also really great at communicating how she feels and what she wants. So if you have kids in your home and you're wanting to make sure that they're respecting the animal, Lulu might be a good fit if you have kids who are a little more mellow, because she will do like a little growl, a little groan to kind of let you know, okay, I'm done being petted, so that you can back away. So she's really great at communicating, but she loves to be petted. She'll let you know what she wants by rubbing into your hand. She does that a lot. She is also housed in our kitty cabana. So she's used to having free roam, and she thinks that she should be able to do whatever she wants, which is kind of what she's displaying a little bit right now. She mostly stays in her transition cage because she and Jimmy not the best of friends, so she hangs out in her little cage there on her shelf with her bed. And the cage is big enough that you can go in and kind of hang out with her, or if you sit kind of on the floor next to it, she comes right down. She enjoys the attention, and she, because of her age, is going to be very discounted. She is $40 off because she's over the age of 12. She's also part of our Colonial Jewelers Diamond in the Rough program, where they will sponsor part of her adoption fee. And she's also part of our February promotion. So she would get another additional $20 off for that. So you really can't beat that price for as the great cat that you're going to get if you choose to add Lulu to your home. She will come out and kind of sit on your lap, rub against your legs. She's very sweet, but she's just a little bit older, so she doesn't have that same playfulness in her that maybe Jimmy or some of the younger cats would have. So if you're just looking for a nice, quiet companion, Lulu is going to be a great fit for your family. So you can stop in and visit her. Again, she's in the kitty cabana. She's usually hanging out in her transition cage. Our next guest is Stout. He is a 4 to 5 year old domestic shorthair. As you can see, he's an all black cat. And here in America, we kind of say that black cats are kind of bad luck, but in many countries around the world, they actually say that they are a sign of good fortune and good luck. And so that's how I choose to look at it. And we've had many lucky black cats in the shelter right now. And a lot of them have actually been adopted in the last week to week and a half. And Stout here is still looking for his new family. He is a little bit shy when you visit him in his cage, but he really wants to be social. I was visiting with him recently, and I kind of sat on the edge of his cage, and it just took 60 seconds for him to get up and decide that I was safe. And he was kind of figuring out whether or not he wanted to sit on my lap. He was a little unsure, but he was definitely he was very affectionate with me. He started purring. He has, when he feels comfortable, he has a very great loud purr, not necessarily as loud as some of the other animals that we've had in the shelter. If you remember Dove or Mia, they had very loud purrs, but he has a nice purr, and he's a very calm, sweet demeanor. He's not necessarily going to be one of those cats that is reaching their paws out of the cage and grabbing at you, but you don't want to discount those shyer animals, because if you just take the time, then they might be the actual best fit for your family. The shelter is a very stressful place, and so sometimes it takes them a while to warm up. It's very scary. They've been taken away from the homes and the families that they've known from, some of them all of their lives, and they're put here, and it's noisy. There's a lot of other animals. There's a lot of people that are always visiting. Sometimes they're loud. Sometimes they're sticking their fingers in their cages, and that's stressful. So you want to make sure that you're giving them the time to see who they really are. Sometimes it takes a couple visits to find the perfect pet for you, because you want to make sure that you're finding the right one, that you're not just jumping at the first available cat that you see that you think looks cute. So there should be a lot of thought and research that goes into adding an animal to your home, because we want them to be there forever. We don't want to see them coming back to our facility, and that's why we've changed our adoption policy a little bit. It used to be a first come, first served situation for all of the animals that were not part of our puppy process. And now we're still taking 2 applications for each of those animals, but we're selecting the application that is the best fit for our pet, so that we want to make sure that they're going to a home where they're going to be happy, they're going to be healthy, they're going to be safe, and the family is going to get that same thing as well. We don't want people to take on maybe a dog that is too strong for them, and then they're going to get hurt or things like that. So please come in and visit with Stout if you think that he's going to be a great addition to your family. This is Mila, and she is a 6-year-old domestic shorthair, black and white. You might not recognize it by looking at her, but she is that 6 years old. She has that kind of youthful, eternal kitten face, and she's a very sweet girl. The home that we're looking for Mila is probably going to be a quieter home. She can be a little shy, and she can get a little stressed, so we want to make sure that she's going into a home where she's going to feel safe and secure and show all of her best qualities. She's a very affectionate girl. She just takes some time to warm up to you, like many of the cats here. The staff that she gets visited and the volunteers that she gets visited by on a regular basis, she comes right out for them. She really loves them. She's very easy to handle. Right now, she's more comfortable sitting on a lap or sitting in her cage. She doesn't really like to be held that much, but she will definitely let you sit there at her cage and pet her for as long as you want. She does have A bit of a skin condition right now. She had some skin infections that we've treated. She gets baths for that as well, and our staff here is saying that she is very patient when she's getting her bath, and she's very good about it. So that tells you a lot about her personality and how calm and mellow she is. We're thinking right now that her skin irritations and that hair loss and that infection could have been a result from a food allergy. So we're keeping her on a special diet right now to help with that. So that's just one of the things that you're going to have to consider if you're interested in adding Mila to your home, that she's going to need some vet care to make sure that those skin and fur issues are resolved and staying that way, and that she's staying healthy. And then, as with any of the senior animals, as they age, sometimes they do incur some more medical costs. She's very sweet. She has a great purr. She just wants to be in your lap and be loved. So if you think that you can provide her with that calm, quiet environment where she can, be the perfect lap cat for you, please stop in and visit with Mila. This is Princess, and she's another one of our senior cats that we have available for adoption on the floor. She is 9 years old. She is incredibly sweet. She's really quiet, very calm. She's a long-haired brown tabby. So when you're taking home any of the cats that have the long or the medium hair, you do want to make sure that you're getting them groomed, that you're taking care of that for them. You don't necessarily have to get them groomed professionally, but you need to make sure that you're brushing them at least a couple times a week to get rid of all of that shedding, make sure that they're not getting matted. Those mats can become very painful for the cats, so you do want to make sure that you're keeping up with that. That's just as important as making sure that they're getting healthy food and that they're getting their vet visits and their vaccines and preventatives. So that's just another aspect of adding a pet to your family. Even if you're getting short-haired cats, they should still be getting brushed every once in a while. So this is Princess. One of the things that might draw some people to Princess is that she is front to clawed. We don't advocate that here at Animal Control, but when an animal comes in that way, it's already done. So she is front to clawed, so there's no worries about her scratching up your furniture or scratching your family or yourself, any of those types of things. She should be an inside only cat. When they don't have their claws, they don't have that primary way of defending themselves. So if she were to get out, she wouldn't have any way to protect herself, so she could possibly become hurt more easily by another animal without that primary line of defense. So it's really important to make sure that you're careful when you're coming in and out, especially if you have kids who might be leaving doors open, that she's staying inside the house. It says on this profile from a previous owner that she can be a little shy, but she doesn't seem to be doing that too much now. She kind of warmed right up in Randy's lap. She's still very inquisitive. She's looking around, sniffing. She's got that great face with those big round eyes and those long white whiskers, and she's just going to be a great fit for any family. So if you're interested in adopting Princess, please stop by the shelter and visit with her. And that's going to wrap it up for this week's edition of Pet Pals. Please tune in next week and see what animals that we'll have available for you then.